Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diana. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Are you one? Are you two?
We might go on for a while.
That's awesome, thank you guys. So I will leave now and I'm gonna
Cherry! I know she was!
sing a cherry! But it's the Black Forest cake. I mean, that's like, that's my favorite cake in the whole world.
I started investing in cryptocurrencies.
I saw that here. I saw your video, Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, in September 2018 when we were in the warehouse. And all along it was just like a big idea that I thought really could work someday.
Right.
20 years, who knows how long.
Right.
Yeah, somebody's buying it.
Somebody's buying it.
Okay, Paul, thank you, Paul.
Girl, get out of the box.
I'm gonna pull that out. That's on a card, right?
But then when Corona happened and the government started spending $3 trillion, now another $1 trillion,
right.
and printing all this money, that they printed more money this year than they've done in the last 50 years.
Right. Yeah.
So when you print money, inflation happens. So you have to have your money not in cash. You really shouldn't have it in cash. It should be an asset, right?
Right.
So normally people buy gold or stocks or real estate. And so now we have this new asset class called Bitcoin. Which is like digital gold. So younger kids get it. Like my kids spend money on skins. Do you know what a skin is?
No.
It's a costume you wear in a video game.
Oh, okay.
So when they get paid $20, like Dad,
Right.
I'm gonna buy a skin with this. Like, what is this?
Right.
But his friends thinks he's cool because he has 128 skins.
Right.
And one of them's worth $2,000 because when you bought the new phone, you got a $2,000 skin or something.
Ah,
So he's like one of the coolest kids in the game. But that's capital. That's money to him.
right.
These digital skins. So
How do they get their money back if they want to cash out?
well, they can sell their
Sell
account
them.
or something.
You
You
can
can't
sell
sell a skin. Wait, I mean, I don't know if that's true.
I feel like Mike Kelton was talking about that with his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't think this world's going digital, you're crazy.
Right.
Everything's
Yeah.
going digital, right? I mean, so when they started printing all the money, gold is kind of a crazy store of asset because really if something happened, chaos like at the Capitol the other day,
Oh my God.
you know, what are you gonna do? Go to Switzerland and go pick your gold up and now you're gonna take that gold to go buy a loaf of bread? I don't think it really works as a historic capital.
Right.
Stocks, we're in the highest stock market in the history of the world. It's so overinflated. There's companies trading, Tesla's trading at 1,700 times earning, and a normal trading company trades at 6. They're at 1,700. So the stock market will dump, like 2008. The problem is we just don't know when. Will it be 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years? So I'm not timing that. I'm not timing that. I'm out of that. I'm not doing anything. So then at the beginning of the year, when the Corona happened, I started putting a lot of money into crypto. And I swear to God, I'm making, like, because of what's going on right now, it's exploding. I'm making like $20,000 a week, $30,000 a week on Bitcoin. I had my brother got in 4 days ago, put $50,000 in. He's already up $10,000. And they're predicting it to just skyrocket. So a lot of people are scared of crypto, Bitcoin.
Right.
It's really easy to buy. You can go to Cash App, PayPal. The biggest Coinbase is where they're the biggest exchange. I would just recommend put a little bit in it because then you pay attention to it.
Right.
And when you start seeing like,
The number go up.
holy shit, did I just make 5,000 yesterday? Did I just make, you know?
Right, can that be right?
Then you
Yeah.
start saying, well, maybe I should put a little more into it. Maybe I should put a little more into it. But there's so much more to, there's a technology underneath it called blockchain, which,
I've heard of that.
yeah, so blockchain is, officially it's a decentralized network, computer network. So it means millions of computers are running Bitcoin, so nobody owns it, nobody can touch it, nobody can break it. You'd have to get into all a million computers. In the future, companies will be written on blockchain, nobody will own it. It's hard to understand that, it's hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
But if you think like Amazon really is a computer program, right? You know, there's not people physically doing anything with your order. There's robots picking your stuff off the shelf. You know, so eventually there'll be an Amazon on a blockchain that nobody owns. So therefore, the profits don't go to the owners or the shareholders. The profits go to the people that use the network. So there's another little cool thing in here that I don't know what kind of value it has. So this has the disc in it, right? The DVD. So the Academy or whoever gets the Star Wars discs like this, and then at the factory they put the barcode on it. So there's 4 of these. There's 500 sealed Star Wars DVDs in one of these sleeves, and I wonder if that's valuable.
Oh, I'm sure
On
it
its
has a
own.
value. I don't know how much, but
Yeah. So there's 4 of these
Wow.
too. I don't even know how to start to value this.
I'll work on it. See what the hell we can come up with.
Perfect. Get to work. So that right there, that's a putter chipper. So that's an illegal club, right? You're not supposed to use this on a tour, but my dad uses it when he golfs against me just to give him a little bit of an advantage. So if you're around the outside of the green, you're supposed to use a wedge like this, right? A wedge. But he uses this illegal club so he can try to beat me. But he never does beat me. So this is kind of a neat bag. This is like a travel bag, you know, so you can take it on an airplane. Oh, look at this. You could lock it up, but it looks like somebody had a lock on here and they cut it. So, because they cut that. But this is, I'm sure this new was about over $100 new. And we can probably sell it for maybe 30 bucks. 30 bucks. So no, it's not an exercise thing.
Oh, get the dents out of your car. I need
So
that
this
dent.
is for lifting glass. All right, so you say you have a big glass window that you need. You push this on it, it holds it, and now it suctions to it, pulls the air out, suctions to it, and then you can lift the glass panel anywhere that you need to take it.
Oh, it's not to get the dents out of the car?
No.
It was used in the movie Mission Impossible, the concept of the
Yeah, same concept, right? Because you can suction onto the window, then climb up, suction. You guys to know a policy that I have if you guys would help me out with it. Pier 1 imports, $49.99 at Pier 1. How much should we sell that?
Half.
25 bucks?
If it was 50, Rick.
It's what normally,
50 bucks at Pier 1.
normally we would do $24.99. But you're saying because it's brand new,
15?
no.
I want to blow it out. We got this stuff for free.
Oh, okay.
Incentive plan, work or get fired. We got a bunch of good workers right now. All of our people are pretty good workers. Now, when we started, we didn't have all good workers. We had about 50-50. We weeded them all out, and now we're left with just workers and not people that are just freeloading here for a job. That's right. You always got to weed out. When you open a new business, you always got to weed out the bad people. It's probably 50-60% you get rid of. And then you hire them back, and you got to get rid of half of them, and you hire more, you half of them, and then finally you get to a place where we don't lose employees anymore very often. They don't go anywhere. They like working here. They like what we do. And they're good workers. If they weren't good workers, they wouldn't work here. So, because we'd be riding them. I like to ride the people that aren't good work,ers because then they get frustrated and they leave. They have 2 choices. They can either start working hard or leave. They normally leave. Because work ethic's like inherent, right? You're either a good worker or not. Listen, I was 25 years old. I was running a restaurant, and this kid was 18 years old, and he comes up to me, and we're switching shifts. I'm working in fast food, right? And he comes up to me, he goes, you know what? You're the worst manager I've ever seen in my life. You know, and of course I'm gonna get offended by it, right? That's what you do. You get offended, well, you know, kiss my ass, whatever you're gonna say to him. But he was right, man. He was right. You know, I don't even know when I finally woke up and said, hey, I'm gonna be a good worker. 40, 35, maybe 35 or 40.
Right.
I mean, my first business I opened was a restaurant on my own. I failed miserably. I golfed more than I worked, so it failed. And then I went back to college, and my second place worked out well. I got 2 restaurants in this place and 2 other stores in Florida. But it's not till you make that decision in your head that, hey, I'm gonna bust hump, I'm gonna bust ass, and I'm gonna make money. You got to make that decision, and it's different for everybody. one of my business partners, he grew up on a farm, so he's used to hustling, man. And one time he's like, hey, help me put my dock in. He had a house on the water, right? Help me put my dock in. I'm like, all right. We get there like 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm like walking up, and he's like walking like like as fast as he can. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what do you mean? But his idea of work is you bust it out, you get it done in an hour, and then you got the rest of the day. Mine was like, oh, let's just relax and take our time. You guys got a beer, So that guy taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about how to bust some ass working, so. Yeah, I pray that I get I teach it to my kids that my kids become good workers. It's like you gotta make a decision, right? You gotta make a decision. Am I gonna have money or not? Am I gonna live prosperous or not? Am I gonna be able to save money or not? I mean, be a shitty worker, you'll always be poor, you'll never have enough money to retire, you'll die broke. Sure, it's a decision, It's not the government's fault, it's not anything else. It's a personal decision everybody makes.